One thing about Beamers, with every new design you look at it and wonder, do I like this one or do I like the model before it? It's growing on me, I don't know. But in this video, we're going to listen to some iconic sounds. And then we'll take a look at its interior and I'm going to put my fingers in its exhaust. We'll talk about its practicality and me and Hippo will break down its cost of ownership. So, without wasting any of your time, can someone tell me why the 135 and the 118 look so similar? Yeah, come on BMW. Anyway, allow us to get started. But where are my manners? Allow me to give this car a proper introduction. This is the all-new BMW M135. I've been really looking forward to it because, as you know, I'm a big fan of hot hatches. Hey, one for all, what's happening? Now back to our Beamer. The M135 comes with a 2-liter turbo petrol engine, but they've made some changes. You see, the outgoing model produced 225 kilowatts, but this new one is producing 233. Now, before you celebrate, they dropped the torque from 450 to 400, and the 0 to 100 time has changed from 4.8 seconds to 4.9 seconds, so we're not really off to a great start. But to be honest with you, most people won't really notice the difference. I drove the car and it still pulls. 233 kilowatts is no joke. Because this is a performance car, I'm sure you'd like to know what it sounds like. Now, thanks to the special feature known as iconic sounds, this 135 sounds like this. And for those of you who are not familiar with iconic sounds, it's basically BMW pumping in fake engine noises into the cabin to make the car sound more sporty. But as you saw on the menu, if you'd like, you can switch them off, but yeah, trust me, you'd rather have them on. While we're here, if you've been wondering about the fingerprints, I'll tell you why they're there a bit later. Now, these are your M Sport seats. I have to say, the red looks really good. Now, after the test drive, we got back to the dealership. But as you can see, the sun was shining. It was bright. So the lighting wasn't that great. So I moved inside the dealership to film this blue M135 instead. And if you're wondering about the white one next to it, that's actually a 118. They look very similar, but we'll come back to that a bit later. As for the interior of the 135, this is what it looks like. It's actually very similar to what you get in the 118 as well. As expected, you get two displays, one for your speed and the other for your infotainment. You obviously have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but as you'll notice in the screen, in order to operate your air conditioning, you'll have to do it in the infotainment system. But personally, I still prefer the buttons in the outgoing model. That's not the only thing that has changed. The gear stick is gone, the iDrive selector is gone. In fact, that is why the infotainment screen will mostly always be full of fingerprints, because now you actually have to touch it. But if there's something you'll enjoy touching, it's the steering wheel. BMW never disappoints. It's nice, thick, and proper. You feel like you're holding on to a real car. That's the stuff. Now, as for these seats, they're actually part of the M Sport package. The package will cost you 25,000 Rand, but with it comes the things you're currently seeing on the screen right now. And this is an option worth considering because you're definitely going to need red brakes and M seat belts to show all your friends and baddies. As I was opening the rear door, look what I found. One. That's a nice touch. Well done, BMW. Now here is your back seat. Rear passengers can look forward to rear air vents, 2 USB Type-C ports, and sufficient leg and knee room. It's not the best, but it will do. Right between your passengers is a center armrest with 2 slots for their cups. And moving on to the boot, you get an electric tailgate. Now, in terms of capacity, it is 380 liters. Underneath, you will not find a spare wheel, but some storage. When you're done, you can always close your boot. Wait for it. There we go. I'm so far. Hey, you see when Pierre is not here. BMW M135. Let's go back a few days earlier. When I first saw this new BMW 1 Series, I immediately thought it looks like a... Please let me know in the comments what it looks like to you. Then I'll say it a bit later and then we'll see if we're saying the same thing. On a side note though, if you're going to buy this car, you have to get the red seats. They look really good. On the topic of M-Fest, it's sad that I don't get test cars from BMW because, this M3 Touring, the road trip I would do in this machine. I would buy this with my own money any day of the week. This This is the BMW to have. This is well done, BMW. Well done. Seeing as I've mentioned station wagons and road trips, my Audi RS4 Avant video is coming soon. As for the new BMW 1 Series, to be honest with you, in my own personal opinion, I think it looks exactly like a Ford Fiesta. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't mind the design that much. I know it will grow on me, but yeah, it looks like a Fiesta to me. But I like the Ford Fiesta, so I don't really mind it. My only issue comes with the lack of effort in making the 135 look more special. If I'm spending 1 million rand on a hatchback, I'd want my performance model to look a little bit different from the standard 118. Here, they look very similar. And if you think I'm being fussy, take for example a Mercedes-Benz A-Class and an A35. You won't ask twice, you'll see the performance variant easily. Yes, they tried to make the grills a bit different, but from a distance most people won't even be able to tell them apart. They'll look at the Meg and think it's the same car, while it's not. When you see an Audi A3 and an Audi RS3, even if you don't know cars, you'll know which of the two is faster. So with the 1 Series, the easiest way you'll be able to tell them apart, the 118 looks like an electric car. It has no visible exhaust pipes, while the M135 has 4 of them. In fact, those 4 are proper exhaust pipes which bring it more in line with the other M cars. And speaking of the other M cars, you might just be looking at all for one. But we'll talk about that at 500,000 subs. To get there, please like this video if you still haven't liked it. And if you still have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. We are still on the road to 150,000 subs by December. So please share this video on your WhatsApp status, on your Instagram stories, on your Twitter. Let them know there's a Mr. How Much on YouTube. Now let's get to our cost of ownership, which is powered by Hippo. The BMW M135 comes in at 982,768 Rand. That's before options. On finance, you can expect to pay 19,213 Rand over 6 years at 12% interest. A full tank of petrol will cost you 1,031 Rand, and already you can see your cost of ownership is going to be over 20,000 Rand. So to save money where you can use Hippo. They'll compare up to 12 different insurance quotes for you. You can go through them, choose the one with an excess and premium you're comfortable with, and the one I went for was around 3,200 Rand, which brought my total cost of ownership to 23,444 Rand. For your own quote, I'll leave a link in the description and pin a comment in the comments below. And now that you know the price, here's something I've been waiting this whole review to ask you. For an extra 4,000 Rand, you can get a Golf R. Between these two cars, which one would you buy and why? Let me know in the comments. For some peace of mind, you get a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan and a 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty. In conclusion, I'll do my best to do a proper review of this car sometime in the future. But for now, all I can tell you is it's a great daily car, it's a great all-rounder, it's very comfortable, it drives well, and when you need the power, that 233 kilowatts is there for you. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, take care. By the way, to all the locals I met at M-Fest, thank you so much for coming to say hi.